Made in Hollywood.
The sci-fi adventure series Star Wars Skeleton Crew, starring Jude Law, is made in Hollywood.
I was one of the millions of kids in the late 70s whose lives were changed when they were taken to the cinema by their parents to see the first film.
Made in Hollywood.
Also on today's show, Ben Stiller gets an unexpected dose of holiday chaos in the endearing comedy Nutcrackers.
They just brought so much of their heart and their innocence and their humor to the process. So every day, as I thought it might be, it was different.
Plus, we go behind the screen with the filmmakers of Moana 2. Daniel Craig and Drew Starkey star in the historical romantic drama Queer, and we also look at the documentary Ernest Cole, Lost and Found, with director Raoul Peck. This week on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Now available on your home screen. A mysterious discovery launches 4 kids on an adventure throughout a dangerous galaxy as Jude Law stars in the sci-fi action series Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
The idea was, let's take a group of kids that don't really realize they're in the Star Wars galaxy, get them lost in the Star Wars galaxy, and watch them try to find their way home.
What really kind of lured me in was the curiosity of how they make these things, the different sort of parameters or rules that apply for it to be or feel like an authentic Star Wars show.
What if we could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy? A real adventure.
I love how imaginative he is. He's such a starry-eyed dreamer, you know, his dedication to his hopefulness, his bravery is really admirable, and I love the circumstances that he's going through. I really did love playing his motivation to want to go off-world.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what?
I would put on a camera rig, which was like a helmet, and like a little bar right here with 2 cameras. It's like the stuff they use on Avatar. They would basically just track my expressions with that.
I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is?
They approached it and appeared day one as very professional young actors. They knew what they were doing and they were confident and they were very able and well prepared and they took it seriously.
It was wonderful working with Jude. He's a really wonderful actor, and when my mom told me, it was all rumors, but when I figured out that I was going to be working with him, I was really excited.
I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello?
We never sat down and said consciously, oh, let's reference a bunch of 80s Amblin movies, because I don't think we ever needed to. Like, those are the movies we grew up with.
We're lost. Really lost.
I was one of the millions of kids in the late 70s whose lives were changed when they were taken to the cinema by their parents to see the first film. And so I've always had a soft spot for it.
I just have to go with the original movie. I mean, come on. and so much of what we're doing with these younger kid characters is kind of based on Luke in that first movie, and he's just a boy, really, and he's like looking off into the sunsets, just wanting something more.
It's a classic. It's the first one I watched, the first one my dad watched in the theaters with his brother.
My favorite would be The Empire Strikes Back. And I just love, I don't know, I love everything about it. I love the introduction to Yoda as well. Everything about the Force, the metaphor, I love it.
Obviously, it has a huge fan base, Star Wars, and these things take a lot of effort. I just hope people get it, dig it.
You're a Jedi.
After hearing a call to reunite her people, a wayfinder and her crew of unlikely seafarers set out on a new journey to parts unknown in the animated adventure Moana 2.
Where are we going?
Before Maui stole Tifiti's heart, our ancestors wanted to connect our island to all the people of the entire ocean.
We have this character, Moana, who's so beloved across the world. So when we looked back into the story, we really just wanted to see how could we really lean into Moana as a character, how could we really develop her as she kind of understands the stakes from the first movie and then explores them on the second. And then we also just wanted to make sure that we not only met the visual bar from the first film, but also exceeded it, so that it really could be an in-theater event.
This is a call from the ancestors.
Hidden in a terrible storm, it's an ancient island. Setting foot on its sands would break the curse, bring our people together again.
I know what I have to do.
Disney animation is full of people that are the best of what they do. The animation in this film is so incredible, the acting. Anytime we actually wanted a particular kind of acting or a moment or subtext within it, you just have to tell them what you're looking for, and then they would actually be able to deliver that.
Auli'i is amazing, and I loved watching her come into the booth because she is Moana and she takes ownership of it, and so she comes in with opinions of, oh, I don't think Moana would do this. So even like the first record session that she came in, it was great to see her of like, oh, well, why don't we do it, can I try it like this? Of course, she'd always deliver what the directors asked, but she's like, oh, can we try this way, and can we try this way? And it was amazing.
You will be destroyed, and your wayfinder too.
Now I kind of miss the lava monster.
Ow! There's so much about Moana that I see in myself. She's really inspired me to take ownership of who I am and my own identity. As someone of mixed heritage, I often feel like I'm sort of straddling worlds. And I'll admit, when I first got hired to work on Moana, I had the thought, Am I Samoan enough to do this? I went to my family and was like, I'm nervous about this. I want to do justice by Moana. And they were like, you are Samoan. It's not a matter of being enough. You are who you are, and have confidence in that.
When I started on the first Moana, I went to my ancestor's gravestone, and her name is Simeafua. And I made a rubbing of that, and I put it up above my desk every day to both thank her for the heritage that I have, and also an apology because at that time my knowledge and connection wasn't as strong. And working on Moana has been an incredible gift that has helped me reconnect in a powerful way, and I'm so grateful.
If that first film was about Moana connecting to her past, this second film is about her moving forward into a new future and defining who she wants to be going forward. And I can't wait to show my cousins this, my cousins' kids this, my kids, my niece. They're all going to see themselves in this film, and I couldn't be prouder of that.
What if you don't come back?
I'll be back. I promise.
Coming up, Ben Stiller gets an unexpected Christmas gift in the holiday comedy Nutcrackers, and we look at the documentary Ernest Cole, Lost and Found, with director Raoul Peck. To find out where to watch any movie, scan the QR code so you can get notified to download the new Movie Phone app.
They just brought so much of their heart and their innocence and their humor to the process. So every day, as I thought it might be, it was different.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Now available on your home screen. With the holidays fast approaching, a big city bachelor finds himself in charge of his 4 rambunctious nephews in the dramatic comedy Nutcrackers, starring Ben Stiller.
I'm with Family Services. With Christmas in 3 weeks, we have very limited options.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Just look after them until I can find them a foster home.
These 4 kids were brothers that they're the sons of a friend of mine from film school that live on this farm where we filmed it, and they're ballet dancers. And so hanging out with them, I just thought there's a movie here if we're crazy enough to turn a camera on them.
Hey, dudes. It's your Uncle Michael. Remember me? Your mom's big brother. I'm here now to look after you, get you guys hooked up with a family.
I farted. He farted.
He is such a good filmmaker. He comes from the independent world. He can work in different genres, but he's great with comedy, and he loves movies. This guy loves movies.
Well, I love David. He's such a kind person. And when I read the script, I loved the script. And I thought, oh, wow, how are they going to find all 4 of these kids so that you believe that they're brothers? And then he told me the story, and I thought, please count me in.
Where's in your cell phone reception?
Got the sticks, homie.
You get service in the middle of the pond? Oh, wait a minute! I got something! I got a bar! I got...
He created such a fun atmosphere, and as an actor, you just want to work with a filmmaker who has a point of view and and has a voice and feels inspired.
Act like normal children. I'm trying to find you a good home, okay?
Everybody wants to meet their mommies and daddies.
Run! Come quick! The golf cart is driving itself!
The kids were actually preparing to do the Nutcracker. They're doing it again right now. I was just with them yesterday. So I had their ballet teacher I said, here's our version of the story. Can you choreograph something for us?
She was like, okay, I'm going to make this not just like every other Nutcracker. I'm just going to have fun with it.
All of the kids from our real ballet classes and everybody that we knew that did ballet, and all of our friends were the extras in that scene.
I'm dealing with a lot right now.
We're talking about 4 little kids who lost their parents.
Do you think I look like my dad?
Very much so.
They just brought so much of their heart and their innocence and their humor to the process. So every day, as I thought it might be, it was different.
They're exquisite kids. The first time I met them, they're so kind and polite, and they give you a hug. It's like you feel like you've known them forever.
And a couple of them couldn't read, and they weren't going to memorize their scripts in a traditional way. And so we brought in an acting coach to kind of give them the essence of a scene.
It'll be a great career for me. I really want to be an actor when I grow up.
Those delinquents hotwired a carnival ride the other night.
Yeah, I was like, is that me on screen? And I was like, oh, that is. And all my friends were like, oh, are you meeting an actor? And I was like, yes. And they're so nice.
Maybe this place is growing on you.
South Africa's first black freelance photographer gets introduced to a new generation in the biographical documentary Ernest Cole, Lost and Found, from director Raoul Peck.
My name is Ernest Cole. I was born March 21st, 1940, in Pretoria, South Africa.
Once I took the decision that Ernest Cole was the one to tell his own story, it was a sort of empowerment decision. He was erased, so we need to give him back the pulpit. So I needed somebody who could really embody the character, so that with the convention of cinema, that you believe totally in it. You don't even ask the question. You are in the presence of Ernest Cole, up to a point where even after his death, he still can tell the story.
In the 60s, every day, every hour, despite the dangers, I photographed apartheid without stopping.
Once I had made the decision that Ernest is telling his story, I have now to understand Ernest through his words, not only his photos, but to research everything that he wrote himself, that people have written about him. What does his family say, or his diaries notes as a photographer, and see the contact sheets, that tells a whole different story. It's like a forensic analysis of everything. And then when I feel, okay, I got this man, I feel who he was, and I can relate to him, then I can start choosing photos that tells that particular story.
Chronicling misery, injustice, and cruelty had become my everyday. But exposing the truth had a price. It's called exile.
The film is not a film about the past, it's a film about today. And there are many windows that enables you to have an opinion, a reflection about what is going on today, because it's about you as well. What Ernest went through, I know a lot of people went through that, and he's telling us something. He's telling us through his words, but also through his pictures.
In South Africa, I was afraid to be arrested. In the United States, I was afraid to be killed. But I never ceased photographing, even for a single moment.
To find out where to watch any movie, scan the QR code so you can get notified to download the new MoviePhone app. Up next, Daniel Craig stars in the historical romantic drama Queer, featuring Drew Starkey and Omar Apollo.
Daniel's such an open, warm actor, and he invites collaboration.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
A lonely expat navigating life in Mexico City establishes an unexpected intimate connection for the first time as Daniel Craig and Drew Starkey star in the romantic drama Queer.
It felt incredibly natural with Daniel. Daniel's such an open, warm actor, and he invites collaboration, and yeah, from day one, he's very willing to share his fears and insecurities with you, and all of a sudden you're kind of at the same level. So he really set the tone for that.
What you got to lose?
Independence.
The character is like kind of has this like mystique to him. You don't really know what he's doing at the bar. He's kind of just this lonely guy sitting down, you know? And I felt like my purpose for the, for the character was really to just lend myself to develop Lee's character. It's kind of his first like interaction with somebody in the film.
The wise old queen who taught me that I had a duty to live, to conquer hate with knowledge and sincerity and love.
Working with Daniel every day, we didn't have like, it's not like we didn't really sit down and have like, icebreaker conversations over coffee or anything. But we did jump into movement rehearsals for choreography very, very early on. And that was a great way to get to know each other.
We had some icebreaker conversations.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. But that was cool. We spoke just about like family and things like that. He was really easy to work with and cool. Yeah.
I want to talk to you without speaking.
Luca is like a well of passion and creativity, and I think that's what you look for in any director. And this project especially was important to him.
Yeah, I mean, Luca's really funny. Like on set, he's just funny. Like when we're done doing a scene, he was just like, "Come on." You don't really get affirmations like usually, but he's a genius. I mean, I love being able to see like his rhythm of decisions and him trusting his own intuition. I think that's really what I took away from working with him.
Stay tuned, there's more coming up on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Thanks for watching Made in Hollywood, powered by MoviePhone. For more behind-the-screen content, check out MoviePhone.com.
Made in Hollywood.